Was a community initiative on the concourse for Ward 8, and we'll have more of that throughout the game, and majority owner Ted Leonsis will join us as well throughout the broadcast at halftime as the Mystics with first possession.
Fever starting a man-to-man defense, and Deladon making a quick read.
Deladon gets things started early. The last matchup, as you mentioned, Christy, an overtime win. Coach Thibault not happy that it took that long to get things done.
Well, it was a lot of adjustments that they had to make to the defensive switches that Indiana brought to the table.
Not the rebound. Tolliver trying to get things in transition. Sanders. Atkins off the pump fake. Got that off the window.
Well, this Mystics team, they are riding full momentum, winning 6 of their last 7 games. They dropped one at Phoenix. Brittany Griner had 17 big points in the first quarter alone in that one on the road in Phoenix.
Wheeler, the WNBA All-Star MVP, that shot short. Deladon controls the board.
Undrafted Erica Wheeler, what a story that has been this season in the WNBA.
Cloud comes to Deladon.
So the switching action defensively by Indiana, they're running out of time.
5 on the shot clock. Tolliver attack. Doesn't get that. Sanders with the offensive board, reset to 14.
How invaluable has Sanders been for the Mystics? Just came out of nowhere, flying from the ceiling for that offensive board.
Deladon completes that offensive set.
That was a great shot, but you've got to credit the extra effort on the offensive boards. That could be added as another key for the Mystics. Second chance opportunities inside like that.
10 on the shot clock for the Fever. Wheeler off the screen. The reverse layup, too much as that goes to the top of the backboard.
There are only 2 seconds left on the shot clock, Megan, and what that means is Washington did a great job defensively. They like to switch positions 1 through 4 on the defensive end. You saw Deladon switching off there on Wheeler and just making that a tough shot for her to make.
Sanders, the handoff, quick touch, Deladon, doesn't go, rebounded by Laney, sends Wheeler back the other way, quick entry pass, Dupree, and she gets the Fever on the board.
Yeah, the 34-year-old is a 7-time All-Star in the WNBA. She knows how to lead this young team in Indiana.
That one for Tolliver doesn't go, and she's quite possibly got the cutest kids.
Oh, she does. The twins, they are precious. But she's the model of calm and consistency for the Fever as the ball goes out of bounds.
That one stripped by Atkins out of bounds.
One of the best to ever do it. 69 career double-doubles. Right in front of the rim is Candice Dupree. She reminds me of Tim Duncan in terms of her calmness, her poise, and her stoic wisdom.
Mitchell. The reverse layup doesn't go. Sanders clears the glass up the floor. Tolliver stops on a dime, doesn't go. The rebound.
Excuse me, Megan. Tolliver loves to pull that in transition, but I think maybe she had numbers and momentum maybe to attack the basket on that one.
And a great defensive job by Atkins on Tiffany Mitchell.
Coach Thibault said he wanted detailed defensive execution, and who do you call on? Cloud is at the top of the list, but wow, second-year player Ariel Atkins has just been outstanding in terms of her timing and great choices on the defensive end. She didn't reach in, swipe down, and get a foul called. She got both hands on the basketball and forced the jump.
Almost wins the jump, but Conwa able to get it to Dupree. Wheeler. Quick pass, 4 on the shot clock. They try to go back inside. Delaney on that cut doesn't go as Tolliver takes it away. Deladon spins. The pump fake got Dupree on the reach.
With Dupree in a mixer on that one, Deladon. One of the top choices this season to be the league's MVP. She was named that back in 2015 as well.
Wheeler's pull-up jumper off the mark. Tolliver surveying. Picked up by Laney. Kicks it. Atkins. Got it.
So many offensive weapons for the Washington Mystics.
And that's going to lead to a Pokey Chapman timeout for the Fever and a 9-point lead.
A 9-point lead because Washington, they get it done defensively first. And then it pays off on the other end when you have Elena Delle Donne, the whirling dervish, with the turnaround J.
4 days. That trip also included 3 flights in 3 days. It got really crazy for the Washington Mystics. It all started after they played Seattle on Friday. On Saturday, they flew from Washington over to Phoenix to take on the Mercury. Then on Sunday, it was from Phoenix over to Las Vegas, and then from Las Vegas to D.C. the following day. A lot of travel for the Washington Mystics, guys.
A total of 11,450 miles. If only I could have given them my travel card to rack up those air miles.
Well, it was so great talking to Coach Tebow yesterday at practice. He said, hey, you know what? I was so grateful to unpack my bag and actually put my things away for about 10 days. So a home stretch here for Washington, much needed.
Tiara McCowan into the game for the Fever along with Kelsey Mitchell. Atkins. Tolliver, 12 on the shot clock. Delle Donne takes Johnson off the dribble and gets that to fall.
What a wise move there by Elena Delle Donne. She saw the defense rotating. That second line of defense was coming, so she pulled up short for that jumper.
Johnson on the drive, kicks it, but into the hands of Natasha Cloud as Shanice Johnson checked into the ball game.
Well, this second unit for the Fever staged one of the biggest comebacks in franchise history as Cloud tries to get something to go.
And she does. Natasha Cloud struggled the last few games shooting. Good to see her knock that down.
This Fever bench mob is what they call them. They had 55 points in their victory over Minnesota, and Kelsey Mitchell, one of the reasons why.
At 20 points. Can't complain when you can get 20 off the bench.
Oh, I mean, they had 55 total bench points in that game. She had 20. It was a collective effort off the bench. They were down 41-21 and just kept chopping.
Cloud off the mark there. McCowan with the rebound. And sometimes, you know, we've seen it in the NBA with Coach Popovich. My starters aren't getting it done. Let me just try the bench and see what happens.
Pokey Chapman knows how to get it done.
Cloud. Atkins in the corner, 12 on the shot clock as she steps out of bounds.
You won't see many of those infractions for the Mystics. They lead the league in terms of taking good care of the basketball, just under 10 turnovers per game. Right up there at the top with just over 21 assists per contest. So a great ratio for the Mystics in that regard, which is why Pokey Chapman said prior to the game, we've got to change things early and often on the defensive end and show them a lot of different looks. Try to get them to turn that ball over a little more than their average.
Mitchell kicks it. Johnson, the three does not go. Cloud with the rebound. Chanwa and Tiffany Mitchell, check back into the ballgame. Sanders with the jumper.
Soft touch by Sanders up top. Well, that 5-out offense for Washington, so tough to guard.
Mitchell couldn't get that to fall, and then Sanders picks up the loose ball foul on Tiara McCowan, cleared her out.
You have to be careful if you're Tiara McCowan. I mean, you're 6'7", so when you're clearing out or trying to box out, you can make contact in that neck, shoulder area that you're not necessarily aiming for that. That's just where your body is. So you have to be cognizant of that and get nice and low and get into the body on box outs instead.
Atkins driving, does not go. McCowan with the rebound. Mitchell up the floor, trying to get something in transition to Tiffany Mitchell. She loses the handle. And they're going to say Tolliver stepped out of bounds. Aerial Powers and Emma Miesemann check in for the Mystics.
Take a look and see what happened there. Tiffany Mitchell trying to gather it, found herself in a crowd. But it looked like Tolliver wasn't completely out of that baseline area before she got possession of that one.
On the inbounds, Mitchell uses the screen from McCow and knocks down the jumper.
I like that matchup right there. Aerial Powers and Tiffany Mitchell. Both players, the same kind of steadiness. Both work extremely hard on both sides.
Miesemann checks into the ball game and knocks down the first jumper. Gives a little, well, all right.
Well, she's been coming off the bench for the Mystics since missing about a month of time playing in that Eurobasket tournament for the Belgium national team.
Extra pass to Johnson in the corner as she knocks down the corner three.
Johnson, another player. She missed about a year and a half of time with that left ACL injury, but this year she has looked healthy, especially as of late for the Fever.
Atkins can't connect. Achonwa with the rebound. Mitchell tries to come back to Achonwa. Atkins got a piece of that one as Miesemann controls. Up the floor. Deladon, a little hesitation. She gets the turnaround J to go.
You are at the mercy of Elena Deladon when you're sitting straight behind her. But she's an offensive initiator, as all 5 Mystics players are. They can bring the ball up the court.
Deladon already up to 10 points in this first quarter. Mitchell, 6 on the shot clock, kicks it. Johnson lost the handle. McCowan tries to control 2 seconds and a shot clock violation.
Well, Emma Miesemann brings a steady dose of offensive production for the Washington Mystics, and when she's on the floor with Elena Deladon, it's a double-edged sword for DC. The turnaround jump shot to perfection, textbook-like by Deladon.
Fever with 5 turnovers already in the first quarter. 7 on the shot clock. Atkins on the drive. That rolls over the rim.
The lefty, that's the second time she's made that drive and made that shot. Megan just squares up and gets it done on the baseline.
Denise Johnson still hot as she gets that baseline jumper.
She had 13 points the last time these two teams met.
Great pass from Cloud. Miesemann just couldn't get it to fall. And it will stay with the Mystics. Instead, actually, they'll turn it over and give it right back to the Fever. The official says, my fault, my mistake.
Powers was trying to gather it, couldn't corral it. Miesemann a little off balance on that last shot for Washington.
Eric Bruton, Byron Jarrett, Tom Maurer are officials this evening. Mitchell, Achonwa. Back to Mitchell off the handoff, and they're going to get Cloud.
Tasha Cloud was trying her best to get around that screening action and stay locked into Kelsey Mitchell as she was trying to drive. Trying to explain to the official that she felt like she was being held there by Kelsey Mitchell.
Mitchell, Achonwa, attacks. She lays it up and in.
Indiana loves to run that hammer action, that back screen on the weak side on that inbounds play. It's one of their go-tos.
7 seconds in the quarter. Cloud. Miesemann off the pump fake. Gets it.
Reluctant scorer, which I don't understand. She's so efficient.
At the end of the first quarter, the Mystics with a 25-16 lead over the Fever.
Looking like a well-oiled machine is the Washington Mystics squad. Great team spirit on the bench. A lot of fun for the Fever. They're trying to get something going on the floor. Elena Deladon has something different to say for the Mystics.
Welcome back. Second quarter about to get started, and Elena Deladon named Player of the Week, and in July was named player of the month. She's kept it going so far.
Yeah, 4 times she's been named player of the week, and we've seen her over and over again. Every single game come out and get the job done. She has been such a tremendous leader for the Mystics.
And for more on Elena Delle Donne, we welcome in Dan Nolan.
Well, thank you, Megan. Look, it's not just because of the mask, but since Elena Delle Donne returned from that nose injury, she has been on fire, scoring more points in a more efficient manner. Think about this. Before she had that injury, she had 0 games of 28-plus points, has had 5 of them since then. 4 games of 10-plus field goals over this 7-game stretch. And how about this, guys? 63.6% from distance, 5 games shooting over 60% or better from 3. She did not do that one time before the injury.
She said that she didn't want to be Rip Hamilton and wear it for a long time as the whistle was blown on the offensive foul there on Wheeler. But, you know, she might want to keep that on for a little while since she's been so effective and efficient with it. She had 28 against Indiana the last time these two teams met. And there's Wheeler trying to pass it, but Tiana Hawkins was established prior to the gather for that pass and was whistled for the charge.
Tori Walker-Kimbrough into the game to start this second quarter for the Mystics. Fever back the other way off the strip. Achonwa, quick touch into McCowan. They're going to wave off the bucket.
Sierra McCowan, such a presence inside for the Fever, the rookie out of Mississippi State. Take a look right here. You can tell Tiana Hawkins was trying to deflect that. And Sierra McCowan looked like maybe she had tied her up a little bit.
Not too many fouls called in the ball game, but no free throws taken at all yet by either team.
Washington leads the league in free throw percentage, so they need to get themselves there.
Walker-Kimbrough tried to save the ball, and on the save, unfortunately, the official is out of bounds and is included as the out of bounds area.
Both of his feet were out.
I believe that's what he just explained to Shatori.
That's exactly what he said.
And if it isn't, we're gonna pretend it was. 5 on the shot clock. Wheeler looking. Gets it stripped in an offensive shot clock for the second time. Defensively by the Mystics. The Fever just out of sorts there.
Well, how disruptive was that last possession for Washington defensively? Very. Active hands, active feet. Get yourselves in the passing lanes. Watch right here. 11-year vet Christy Tolliver right there. As the ball goes down, she swipes right at it. The assistant coach for the Washington Wizards was watching everything last season on the bench for Scott Brooks.
Powers couldn't get it to go, but Tiana Hawkins is there for the offensive board. Neesmith trying to save it. She does to Walker-Kimbrough, who gets it to Powers. 4 seconds on the clock. Hawkins. Tolliver. And they're going to say shot clock violation.
Not for lack of effort. Let me tell you what. That was a scramble, and I think there are a lot of smiles on the faces of the fans who appreciate them trying to keep it alive. It was almost like a hot potato there. Great effort. Powers tries to get it over to Hawkins. Achonwa disrupts that lift. Tolliver too late on the 3.
There's Johnson to Wheeler. Mitchell nails it.
Elsie Mitchell. She is lethal offensively. You've got to find her and fight over top of any screening action that comes her way.
And then Neesmith answers right back.
Neesmith, as a rookie, didn't take as many threes as she's taken since then, but much more aggressive from the three-point line.
Little screen and roll action as Achonwa gets that to go off glass. Cuts it to 7.
Great execution there by Indiana. They want to get into the paint and score more in there. Pokey Chapman wants to see that kind of action for her team.
Hawkins off the mark. Up the floor. Johnson with the layup in transition. Walker Kimbrough and Mitchell were tangled up on the floor there.
Well, that's another thing that Pokey Chapman said prior to the game. We want to push the tempo. Yes, Washington leads the WNBA, scoring 87 points a game as McCowan deflects that one. But they're not afraid of that kind of pace. They know that they want to get the rebounds and get up and down the floor and score easily like they did on the last possession. But that also starts with their defensive energy, and that was one of the keys for them as well.
10 on the shot clock. Powers attacking. Mitchell goes into the body.
She is just so strong. At 6'1", can defend multiple positions for Mike Thibault and the Mystics, but can also attack in mismatches like that.
Dupree back into the ball game along with Mitchell. Here's Mitchell, 10 on the shot clock. To Kelsey Mitchell. 5 on the clock. Crossing. Doesn't get the bounce. McCowan clears the glass, and they're going to get a whistle and a foul. It looked like Miesemann had the clean block up top. I'm not sure if they'll call it down low, though. And they do give it to Aerial Powers down low.
You can tell Miesemann got her whole hand on the ball, but it was Powers who was outsized inside by the 6'7" McCowan and had her arms tangled up. Kira McCowan is 66% shooter from the free throw line. The rookie has really made a quick jump in terms of her understanding of the professional level of game. Coming from Mississippi State, Vic Schaefer, the head coach there. Carly Thibault. Dudanis now was an assistant coach for Mississippi State when they went to the Final Four a couple of seasons ago. She's now at Minnesota.
Miesemann, a little pump fake, and goes window.
I like to see players be aggressive, and Emma Miesemann has been aggressive so far in this first half as Tolliver gets a piece of Dupree.
Dupree gets the first.
I love Dupree's story. Played at Temple for Dawn Staley, who's now the head coach at South Carolina. Has been in the league now for a while. Has scored 1,000 points with 3 different teams in the league as well. So she has been consistently efficient in her time in the league.
Tolliver hits the floor hard, no whistle. Wheeler the other way to Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell. She nails the 3.
Christy Tolliver didn't make her way down after falling down on that last shot, but Kelsey Mitchell, you can't leave her open. Someone's got to rotate. She shoots 34% from 3.
Tolliver cross court. Walker Kimbrough. They're going to say last touch by the Fever. Then a timeout on the floor. 32-29. Mystics lead.
Christy Tolliver tried to attack and get into the painted area. Indiana closing things off well. Indiana pushing it the other way. The second all-time leader in scoring in the NCAA, getting it done in the league as well.
Shot clock at 10. Out of that timeout, Deladon back into the game along with Cloud. 6. 2 seconds. Atkins lets it fly. Hit rim as Kelsey Mitchell controls. Wheeler. Pull up Jay. She gets back to go. Soft touch.
Yeah, Erica Wheeler made LaToya Sanders make a decision. Are you going to come contest this shot, or are you going to play me for the drive? And that gave her the space necessary to let that 3 fly. She shoots 40% on the season from there.
The trap forces the ball out of bounds, but they'll say last touched by the Fever. So the Mystics will retain with 11 seconds on the shot clock. Stephanie Mavunga checks in for the Fever out of that timeout.
In her second season out of Ohio State, played with Kelsey Mitchell.
4 seconds. Tolliver. Sanders. As it expires.
The extra pass, give up the good shot for the great shot. Great things happen when you are a selfless player when you have the basketball.
Wheeler. And a whistle and a foul. And an offensive foul called as Ariel Atkins. They call it on Stephanie Mavunga.
Just right there, Ariel Atkins. What a utility player she is. Second season out of Texas. And has just been remarkably pro-ready.
Cloud on the kick to Sanders. This time she knocks it down on the baseline.
We talk about the defensive prowess of Latoya Sanders, but boy, that soft touch in the pinch post and high post area is invaluable for the Mystics.
Dupree knocks down the jumper.
The same thing could be said for Candace Dupree. Her mid-range game is so efficient. Matter of fact, Indiana is the top team in the league in terms of their percentage of scoring from the mid-range area.
Erica Wheeler tries to save the ball. Christy and I are okay.
I close my eyes. Are you good?
We're
okay,
good. Wheeler cleared the entire table and then held the body control up there. That was impressive.
I need a church fan, but I'm good. I am good.
This is teamwork, Christy. I got you.
Thank you.
Deladon knocks it down. Extends the lead now up to 5. The Fever keeping it close.
Fever staying right with it. And that's the same thing that happened in the last game. It was an overtime game, but it was back and forth for the entire match.
Dupree, 10 on the shot clock to the corner. Wheeler goes baseline, drops it off. Mavunga, as she gets that to go.
Mavunga coming off of a great game, career high 10 points against Minnesota, and that was another reason why their bench was so productive in that contest.
Off the miss, it will go to the Fever.
Stephanie Mavunga, she was 5 for 5 in that game, came off the bench, got those 6 boards, 2 steals, 2 blocks in less than 20 minutes of play.
Wheeler. Goes to Mavunga. A whistle and a foul, they're going to call it on Ariel Atkins.
You see Stephanie Mavunga there communicating that there was a switch defensively by Washington and maybe look inside. Because she had Atkins on her, and Atkins is a strong defender, but she's not 6'3", 6'4" like Mavunga is on the blocks.
Off the inbound. 12 on the shot clock. Wheeler to Dupree. The 3 as that rattles through. Mitchell, Tiffany Mitchell joining the party.
She's on that USA training squad as well.
The timeout on the floor, Coach Tebow displeased with something as we are tied at 38 on the hands of Tiffany Mitchell.
I think it was the reads and the miscommunication on the defensive end, something that we have been talking about was so important for Washington.
Back, the Fever tied it up at 38, but Kelsey Mitchell has been really strong in this first half.
Well, she has been tremendously consistent for Indiana in the last couple of games, but she has 11 points, but those 3 for 4 from 3, those have been backbreakers for Washington during this quarter alone, but she also has 4 assists. So it's not just her shot-making ability, it's her play-making ability as well. She has set her teammates up as well as setting herself up well on the offensive end.
Once again, majority owner of Monumental Sports and Entertainment, Ted Leonsis, will join Christy and I at the table here at halftime to talk more about 4 Ward 8. If you're just joining us, it's a new community initiative that Monumental Sports and Entertainment is taking on. So we'll chat with him about that as the Mystics off the timeout turn the ball over and see Ted Leonsis there with Sashi Brown, part of the new Monumental basketball group.
Well, I love it. And Mike Tebow's excited about it as well, as he's involved on that board. And it's going to be really interesting and important in this community to get that up and going.
Stephanie Muvunga gives the Fever their first lead of the ball game.
That's what this bench has been able to do. Those 55 points that they scored off the bench against the Minnesota Lynx, that was second most in franchise history. And they can come in, and now they have that confidence in knowing they can come in and impact the game the way that they can.
4 on the shot clock. Powers gets caught. The ball out of bounds. It will go to the Fever. And the Mystics, Christy, I mentioned this is the Fever's first lead of the game. The Mystics started the ball game on a 15-2 run, and they now trail by 2.
Well, they're struggling in terms of preserving possessions right here. Aerial Powers just tied up in a double team, and Sanders couldn't get to it. And 6 turnovers so far for the Mystics. That's turned to 8 points for Indiana, so that makes a difference.
Sanders got a piece of that shot on the defensive end. That leads to that jumper from Deladon.
And she was a bit off balance, but I tell you what, it doesn't matter. Her release point is so high, and once she gets up there, there's nothing you can do with it.
Muvunga to Dupree. Working with Wheeler. Tolliver got a piece of that bounce pass. And then Wheeler gets whistled for the foul 70 feet from the hoop.
Not the kind of foul you want to commit. But right here, take a look at Elena Deladon trying to find a gap, a sliver of light, and gets it there. Another turnaround jumper.
Powers. Dupree trying to push Deladon off that spot, a whistle. And they're going to get defensive 3 seconds.
You got to be in the legal guarding area. You've got to be guarding somebody. So, of course, Washington will send Elena Deladon to the free throw line. They're the best to ever do it, shooting 96%.
That's the first Mystics free throw of the ball game. And as of right now, coming into this ball game, Christy, Elena Deladon currently sits as part of the 50-40-90 club.
Yep.
But she's closer to 45% from 3 than she is 40.
Yeah, we saw she's shooting almost 64% from 3 in the last stretch of games.
Extra 1 to Sanders. 7 on the shot clock. Powers lets it fly. Almost gets her own rebound on that, and they're going to say it will stay with the Mystics. So she doesn't get the rebound, but she forces the ball out of bounds.
Well, when you're a shooter, shoot. But they also know where that shot is coming off of the rim as well. Aerial Powers in that 3-guard position, follows her shot to perfection and gets a piece of it. Saves the possession for her team because of that extra effort.
Powers on the attack. So strong. And the bucket. And the foul.
I love watching passionate players play the game, and Aerial Powers, she brings that night in and night out. Watch right here, the animation, talking to the fans, having a little fun. And that's not taunting. That's saying, hey, that's hard work right there. He was the same kind of player at Michigan State.
Her strength. We saw 2 things that Coach Tebow told us about in practice that he loves about her. The strength that people underestimate and the amount of offensive sets that she gives them back on the boards.
Yeah, she crashes the glass. In that Phoenix game last week here at home, she was all over the boards as Cloud bumps into Kelsey Mitchell for the foul.
And that will send Kelsey Mitchell to the free throw line. Mystics in the penalty. Final minute of this first half. Mitchell gets the first.
She was a starter for the Fever in the first 19 games of the season, shooting 86% from the line. 4-time All-American out of Ohio State. The only player out of Ohio State to do that.
Mitchell, 2 for 2. Cloud off the handoff. Deladon turns. kicks it. 6 seconds. And that pass just a little too much on it. Wheeler to Dupree. Wheeler attacking. The floater doesn't go. Deladon clears. Mystics can play for final shot, and Coach Tebow immediately puts the one finger up.
They do a lot of situational work during their practices, simulating moments like this.
8 on the clock. Cloud. 4 seconds. Cloud attacking. Deladon. 2 seconds. Doesn't go, and the first half comes to an end with a 44-42 lead for the Mystics. As Fever keeping it close through one half of basketball. As Dan Nolan is joined by Emma Mieseman.
All right, thank you, Megan. Emma, first half, you held Indiana to 16 points in the first quarter. That changed in the second quarter. What needs to change defensively against this Fever team?
I just think we have to keep communicating. Maybe in the first quarter we did it really well and we think it was going to go easy. They were going to give up, but this team is never going to give up. So we just have to fight hard and be a little smarter.
What is it about this Indiana matchup that's been difficult for you guys? Overtime in the first game. This is another close one here at home. What is it about the Fever?
They're good. They just bring this energy and hustle on the court. So we have to match it and just want the ball more. But now they want a little bit more, so we just have to go at it.
Emma, thank you.
You're welcome.
Megan.
And Chrissy, Indiana was hot in that second quarter as we closed out the first half.
Yeah, that second quarter in particular, they were very efficient, spread the wealth offensively. That bench came in and did what they do. But can Washington come back and counter in the second half? Stay with us.
Welcome back. The second half about to go underway. Mystics up 44-42 over the Fever. I spoke to Mystics associate head coach Eric Tebow at halftime, and he said that Indiana's 26 points in the second quarter, unacceptable. He said that Indiana upped their intensity, and Washington was, quote, terrible defensively. Kelsey Mitchell really upped the tempo offensively for the Fever. The Mystics will have to adjust in the second half. Megan?
Yeah, Dan, in the highlights, it was Elena Deladon and Kelsey Mitchell, as Coach Tebow said.
Well, you know what? Elena Deladon, you know what you're going to get with her. She is a consistent player for the Washington Mystics. Had 28 points and 15 rebounds the last time these two teams met. You've got to double her. You've got to crowd her area, make her make decisions on the catch. And for the Fever, Kelsey Mitchell, she is a prolific scorer. You cannot go underneath screens. You cannot be late to close out and contest. She will make you pay every single time. She's 3 of 5 from 3. Washington needs to know where she is on every play.
That bench, as we mentioned, the last segment, 25 bench points. They got that and more in one of the biggest comebacks I've ever seen against Minnesota in their previous game. And this bench for the Fever, it keeps it going for them, even when their starters aren't going.
Yeah,
As Atonwa can't get that to go. And Coach Tebow is incensed that there wasn't an over-the-back call on that rebound.
There was some contact in the back there. He was trying to find out why that wasn't called. But speaking about the bench play, for both of these teams are probably the most deep in the league in terms of coming in and not missing a beat on the offensive end.
Tolliver misses, tries to get her own rebound and goes out of bounds. As you see head coach Kogi Chapman there for the Fever, trying to get a win on the road.
Yeah, it's her third.
Former AAU rival for you.
Yeah, she played for the Dominoes. I played for the Virginia Vogues. We used to play against each other back in the day as Cloud comes up with the steal.
Deladon is bumped around, knocked to the ground, helped up.
We said that Deladon needed to see a crowd, and boy, did she have 4 players around her, or was it just 3? It seemed like 4.
Hey, Wheeler wasn't in that. That was Mitchell and
Right here, Washington coming up with a nice deflection there is Natasha Cloud tipping the ball forward and trying to push pace for the Mystics. But Indiana's defense on that catch by Deladon, that's what you're going to see, I think, in this second half. More attention to Deladon with double and triple teams.
Originally, they gave that foul to Wheeler, but they corrected and gave it to Tiffany Mitchell. And then a whistle and a foul called on Dupree.
Candace Dupree just got a little too close to Deladon. You know she's trying to square you up. She has that lethal step back move from that left side.
No look to Atkins, doesn't go. Wheeler with the rebound. Wheeler spins away from Cloud. Here's Dupree. She knocks down the jumper, tied at 44.
Christy Tolliver couldn't come off of Tiffany Mitchell. She's been in the corner. She knocked down a couple threes in that first half. So Indiana doing a tremendous job of keeping space and keeping Washington guessing defensively.
Atkins, 6 on the shot clock, out to Cloud, to Tolliver, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, Tolliver. The floater does not go. That sends Mitchell back the other way. Chanwa with the rebound. Wheeler to Mitchell in the corner. She's short. Sanders with the rebound. Cloud picks up the loose ball. Deladon. Atkins left open. Tolliver with the offensive board. Cloud tries, and she connects.
That's what Washington has needed. More offensive production from Natasha Cloud. They have 6 players, Washington does. Averages 9 points or better. So we're talking about the depth. That's not just the bench. That's across the board for Washington.
5 on the clock. Wheeler comes back out. 2 seconds. Reverse layup. Gets back to go.
Erica Wheeler, undrafted out of Rutgers in 2013. The only undrafted player to be named All-Star MVP a couple of weeks ago as Sanders gets that one to drop.
3-point lead for the Mystics, 49-46. Mitchell, Delaney, kicks it. Achanwa doesn't connect. Deladon with the rebound, a loose ball foul. And they're going to give that to Benaje Laney.
Benaje Laney right there just got tangled up with Ariel Atkins, and Coach Tebow trying to get some space created in terms of points. You got to get stops. And right there just trying to lose herself, it looked like, from Ariel Atkins. Benaje Laney, her mom played at Cheney State for Vivian Stringer. She played for Vivian Stringer at Rutgers. So full circle in the women's basketball world.
Cloud left open, knocks down another one.
Once Cloud gets going, that changes dynamics for Washington. They were 2 of 10 in that first half from 3. Now a couple shots have fallen. That changes how Washington plays. It comes in avalanches.
Laney in the corner. That's well off the mark. Tolliver controls. Tolliver drops it off. Sanders, cool, calm, and collected.
As always, and now a 10-2 run for the Mystics here.
That 10-2 run, it leads to a Pokey Chapman timeout for the Fever and an 8-point lead for the Mystics.
Well, Eric Tebow said the defense wasn't on point there in that second quarter. That's what's changed. And what happens when you play good defense? Good things happen on the offensive end. Sanders with the capper for Washington as Indiana calls that timeout.
Welcome back. The Mystics with a 54-46 lead on this day in 2006. The Mystics defeated the then San Antonio Silver Stars 91-79, who are now the Las Vegas Aces. A fun fact about that game, all 5 starters scored in double figures. Current player Elena Beard part of that team with 22 and 5. Nikki Teasley and Chastity Melvin respectively had a double-double themselves with 14 and 11 and 18 and 11.
Some of the best players to ever do it in the ACC. Elena Beard at Duke, Teasley at UNC, and Chas Melvin at NC State. 3 fantastic stars in the league as well. Elena Beard's now with the LA Sparks. Still balling out. I love that.
Forward to seeing her back on the floor as Dupree, coming out of the timeout from Coach Chapman, knocks down the jumper.
What Washington has done to get a little jump start here in the second half is getting the stops necessary and the pace that they want to get. I mean, they average 87 points a game, so they're well under that.
This time, Deladon, instead of going spin cycle, just does something basic.
Sometimes you don't have to go and one mixtape, you know? Just keep it simple and pop it.
Mitchell to Mitchell. Kiara McCowan into the ball game out of the timeout, along with Shanice Johnson for the Fever.
But what a fight for the glass for Latoya Sanders at 6'4". She is so lanky and long, out rebounded McCowan on that last one at 6'7".
The pump fake, the jumper from Cloud does not fall. When you think about who Latoya Sanders has had to deal with as of late, Natasha Howard, then you have the Erica Hamby, throw in Brittany Griner. Now you got to deal with McCowan.
Yeah, and she does it selflessly.
Fans, don't forget Monumental Sports Network VIP members get access to exclusive events and complimentary ticket opportunities every month. Start a free trial at getmonumental.com. She doesn't even see like she's fatigued dealing with the bigs that she's had to deal with. But that's the veteran leadership she brings.
Well, you've got to compartmentalize. And she did it again.
On cue.
You got to compartmentalize and stay locked in and focused to the task at hand. And that's what Latoya Sanders brings to the table. And Mike Thibault has said all season long that she is their best defensive player on the interior, and she has shown it over and over again.
Dupree, they're trying to get McCowan something. Dupree, reminiscent of Game 7 against Philadelphia and Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard and the 5-bounce wonder at the buzzer.
Deladon on the attack. She's fouled.
Canadian lines and I believe Chanwa as well, right?
There's 2 of us here, so I had to do
Not just you, right?
She's a 2-time Canadian Olympian.
There you go. Teamwork.
Deladon. Did the earth just shake? Are we in Vegas?
I think the collective from the fans here shook the floor here in DC.
You won't see her miss 2 in a row, though, as she knocked down the second one.
She's only missed 2 other shots this season from the line.
Dupree, they go inside. McCowan. I thought Sanders got all ball on that. And Coach Thibault, hand on head, is in disbelief.
That's coach's nonverbal language of, really? Watch right here. Sanders gets her on the way up, and it looks like it's all ball, but I think that's the only spot that Sanders could have made a play on the ball because McCowan is 6'7", so she can't wait for her to go ahead and square it all the way into her shooting pocket. She got it on the way up, and it looked like she swiped all ball on that one. And I saw a wry smile on the face of Tiara McCowan as she walked to the line because I think she knew that as well.
Emma Mieseman into the ballgame. So Coach Thibault goes with his bigger lineup in Sanders, Mieseman, and Deladon with Cloud and Tolliver on the floor as McCowan goes 1 for 1. Mieseman.
Looking to try to post up Deladon. She had Shanice Johnson on her.
Cloud. Beautiful move inside. one right back.
Kelsey Mitchell takes a tumble after that block, but right here, Natasha Cloud staying intentional on the offensive end and taking it right to the cup and dropping it in amongst the trees. Sierra McCowan outstretched hands at 6'7", trying to contest that one. Great spacing.
Cloud protecting that ball like a wide receiver going through the defense. Mitchell to Laney, attacking. Too strong. Deladon with the glass.
Good job there by Deladon to stay down defensively. She got up on her toes but didn't leave her feet, which allowed her to stay in good defensive position.
Sanders, that's off the mark. Johnson up the floor. Dupree posting up is McCowan. And Cloud immediately raises her hand to take the foul on that one.
What Indiana likes to do, they like handoff actions at the elbow, but if they don't have that, they like to set Sierra McCowan up right in front of the rim. Makes it so difficult to defend because she has the basket right there. So defensively, post players have to pick a side you're going to defend.
Just got that over the rim.
She's a 66% shooter from the line, but, you know, as a post defender, that's one of the toughest places to play. And if you're listening and you're a current or former post player, you understand you don't want to be defending right in front of the rim. You want to be on the blocks where you can be on one side or the other. You don't want to be stuck behind on the blocks either. But it's tough to choose when they're right there.
McCowan got both free throws, cuts the lead to 8. 2:20 to play in this third quarter. Aerial Powers into the ball game for the Mystics. Miesemann got Dupree in the air and got that to go. Johnson comes back the other way. And a whistle and a foul. This time it's going to be Miesemann making contact before the entry.
When Emma Miesemann stays aggressive offensively, great things happen for Washington. Right there, up and under. She sold it to Dupree and she bought it.
And she does that move a lot, which you don't typically see from a big at her size.
Yeah, 6'4".
Mitchell, they're going to wave off the bucket. She got the Reggie. They called it, on Achanwa. I thought they were going to get the Reggie Miller call with the kick of the feet.
With the leg going out. Nope, it was an illegal screen by Natalie Achanwa right here. You're going to see her pass it off and then slide into the defender who's coming out to contest that shot. You can't move.
Powers in the corner. Got it.
Great piece to the Washington Mystics puzzle. Aerial Powers has been this season. Came in midstream last year in a trade to Dallas for Taylor Hill.
The lead up to 13 now for the Mystics. As Burke couldn't get it to go, they're going to call a whistle on the ball. They give it to Kennedy Burke.
And Kennedy Burke, a 6'1" rookie out of UCLA. She has a 6'5" wingspan, but she's also in there with other players who are pretty long and lanky as well and couldn't outmuscle them for the boards.
Deladon got the first.
She went and spoke with her dad about her shot and tried to simplify it. It's a lot like a golf swing, she said. You know, get it up into the pocket and just release it. Lift and flip.
Johnson attacking. The Mystics this quarter, 24-13. A minute still to play in this third quarter. Miesemann. Powers. She's fouled. Doesn't get the bucket, but she is going to go to the free throw line for 3.
When you show aggressive defenders the basketball, they get themselves out of position because they're trying to play too tight. And right there, you've got to let the shooter have that space on the way up and on the way down. But you also have to contest square to the shooter as well, not with your body sideways. Just take a look right here at the contest, trying to get over top. And Shanice Johnson gets a piece of the arm.
Tiana Hawkins checks in. Latoya Sanders checks out. And from that angle, what we didn't see just for positional was in the first angle, that the way she landed, getting taken out that way could have ended, unfortunately, very badly. Luckily, it didn't, but those are the tough ones, and that's why that rule was implemented.
Absolutely. I hate seeing that. If a player rolls their ankle on something like that.
Biggest lead of the ball game for the Mystics. And Powers, right until that last second, was doing a great job saying that got her with the knee. Powers is saying she got me in the face first.
Well, when you're out top like that, you don't have to stay that tight defensively. Yes, you want to honor range, but you're still in close enough area to get a hand up on a shot if they pull it from out there. But you don't have to ride up. There's no screening action there. You don't have to squeeze through and stay locked over top.
Wheeler. Here's Burke. Kicks to Wheeler. 6 on the clock. Burke. Excuse me, that's Wheeler to McCowan and Powers.
It's a great read offensively by Indiana. Drawing the defense to the basketball and then dropping it off to McCowan on that weak side.
Take a look at the upcoming national TV games later on tonight. Phoenix at Los Angeles on ESPN2, and then tomorrow Connecticut at Minnesota, Chicago at Las Vegas. The doubleheader should be some solid basketball leading into the weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to be rushing out of here as soon as the lights go down.
You and me both.
And I need to see that LA game. Candace Parker, player of the week for LA, just back after multiple injuries this season, finally got some consistency in terms of playing time and health. That's going to be a great game. That's going to be a great one.
Niesemann head to the free throw line. This last 2 minutes has really slowed down.
Take a look right here. Powers tries to drop it in to Niesemann, and although a foul was called on that, Powers may be better served dropping a bounce pass in. Niesemann had that front position on the blocks. And it's just easier to handle a bounce pass than to have all those hands up and active in that torso area. When that bounce pass comes, you can lock into that position and then corral the ball.
Niesemann extends the lead. Fever can play for final shot of this third quarter. There's a hair of a differential between shot and game. Burke on the kick. Nobody there, so the Mystics will have 2.3 seconds on the clock. She showed the cannon. Unfortunately, it's not what Coach Tebow wanted.
She's been in the weight room. That's good.
True.
But you got to execute with that strength.
So the possession back to the Fever. Chimoma Doesn't go. As the third quarter comes to an end, the Mystics lead at 73-57.
Well, only 2 for 10 from 3 in that first half for Washington. In the third quarter, Washington knocked in 3 threes. Looking to do more damage here at home. The Fever trying to respond.
Welcome back. Mystics on top 73-57. Earlier, you heard Megan and Christy talking about a game on August 8th, 2006 that had 2 players with double-doubles. One a point assist double-double, the other a point rebound double-double. So that brings us to our trivia question of the night. How many times in franchise history have the Mystics had at least one player record a point assist double-double and another one record a point rebound double-double?
Let's see. How long has Deladon been here? Let's see.
Have the Mystics had a player? I'm going to say 3.
I'm going with 2. You know, that's a tough combo.
It is.
I'm going to go with 2, I think. The peace sign.
So you've got 2, I've got 3. We'll catch up with Dan in a little bit to find out who's right or if we're both wrong. Mystics with the possession to start this fourth quarter. Hawkins into the ball game. She's with it now. 4 on the shot clock. Out to Powers. And a shot clock violation. Erica Wheeler is down on the ground.
Well, Megan, you nailed it. The answer is 3 times right off the bat. I thought that you were looking at my notes there for a second, Megan. Also, here's a fun fact that came up in the trivia when we were doing research, guys. 7 times in franchise history has there been a player with a point assist double-double. Thought that number would be higher, given the amount of nice point guards that the Mystics have had over the years.
Oh,
now, we should have known at least one because one was in the game that we mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought because we were when they were talking about the trivia, I overheard the 7, so I thought, okay, it can't be a high number. As Dupree got that to go, but Powers took a shot to the face.
Tebow is up in arms about that one. I think Wheeler took a shot on the other end, and now she's getting a little chippy out here on both sides.
That one doesn't go. Hawkins trying to fight for the rebound. It'll stay with the Mystics.
Let's see if there was any egregious contact above the shoulder on this side as Dupree just clearing herself to get the shot up.
Off the inbounds. Atkins too strong on that one. Wheeler to Dupree. They go inside. Mavunga as she's fouled by Miesemann.
Miesemann's holding her nose. I mean, you know, you put yourself in harm's way as a defender because, you know, you're right there and she's just connecting with the left shoulder of Stephanie Mavunga. As a defensive player just trying to hold their own and contain.
Handoff to Wheeler. 6 on the clock. Goes to Mavunga. Under the hoop, she left that short as Hawkins with the rebound.
But a really pretty read for Indiana. And now for Pokey Chapman, she sees what her team can get.
Hawkins doesn't go. Wheeler with the rebound. Dupree. Wheeler has it stripped from behind by Atkins. Cloud in transition. Mitchell catches up. Cloud left that short. Powers trying to save it. She does. Strong move from Powers with the and one.
Aerial Powers. You know you're supposed to play for the name on the front of your jersey, but right here, what a powerful play by Aerial. She is imploring the crowd to join her. Showing the flex.
Completes the three-point play. The give me more from the crowd. That was very much, I felt like I was watching a WWE match right there.
But you got to make your free throw. If you do that, you got to make that
gotta.
free throw. Coming back up.
Wheeler. Out to Mitchell. Attacks. Dupree. Too strong. Atkins with the rebound. Up the floor, Cloud. Tiana Hawkins has a block from Dupree. Way to get back from Dupree defensively, but ends up in the hands of Miesemann. 12 on the shot clock.
What a vicious defensive play by Candice Dupree.
5 on the clock. Powers checks it. Rises. That's off the mark.
Wow. Washington, they want to push pace. Get some nice quick tempo up the floor. Tiana Hawkins typed it up. Candice Dupree deletes it. All ball on that block for the vet. 34 years old, Candice Dupree. 11 points a game, 5 boards, 2 assists. Consummate leader for the Fever.
Wheeler.
Iverson action there for the Fever. Trying to ISO Mavunga on the block.
Strong move from Mavunga.
She can get things going. As I said earlier, career high 10 points against Minnesota in their last contest. Really was a spark, along with her teammates off the bench in that one.
Trying to get Deladon posted up as Mitchell pokes it out of bounds from behind. That's Tiffany Mitchell. Tough area to inbound it. Into Tolliver. Quick trigger, doesn't go. Mavunga with the rebound. Up the floor.
Krista Tolliver now 0 for 6 and has not scored in the game so far. 0 for 2 from 3 for Tolliver. 3-time All-Star in the WNBA.
They try to go to Mavunga, doesn't go as it's out of bounds. Last touched by Miesemann. And over the last 4 games, Tolliver averaging 19 points. Dupree kicks it, Wheeler. Nailed it.
Gotta find her. The never give up attitude is so evident in the way that Erica Wheeler plays the game. That's what she said, never give up. And I belong. Those are the 2 things that she walked away from in Las Vegas at the All-Star break.
Sanders doesn't get the bounce on that. And Wheeler started the game off struggling offensively, and she's kept that same attitude, just kept playing through it. And Sanders going to get whistled for the foul.
And I just love the story of Erica Wheeler and just her persistence and discipline. You know, her mom, Melissa Cooper, passed away right before her senior year in Rutgers, and she's a fighter.
A timeout on the floor, a 76-64 Mystics lead over the Fever. 4th quarter continues. Welcome back. The defense for the Mystics has picked up in this second half.
It certainly has, Megan. 13 turnovers have been forced by Washington, and that has created 21 points for DC. They have had their hands in the passing lanes, active hands, active feet. Being disruptive and pushing tempo the other way has really been great for Washington. 6 steals, 4 blocks. And then pushing pace is Natasha Cloud on this one. And then Power staying with the play, preserving possessions, getting tagged, and heading to the line for the and one. The payoff is what it's all about for the Mystics defense.
Is a timeout. The Mystics with the 12-point lead. Still lots of time in this ball game. Wheeler picks up the dribble, gets caught, throws it off of Miesemann, and it will stay.
Tebow said it bounced back off of Wheeler when she was out of bounds.
This is where I'd like to see the WNBA implement the coach's challenge. It will now be implemented in the NBA. I'd like to see the WNBA take that on as well, too.
That's going to be interesting. I'm anticipating that for this year being very intriguing, to say the least.
As Candice Dupree cuts the deficit to just 10. A 7-0 run for the Fever. And a whistle and a foul.
Tiffany Mitchell was trying to do her best on Elena Delle Donne.
Not sure if you can really do much other than that.
Well, you've got to stay loose. It's a dance. It's a tango down there on the block. You've got to stay active. You've got to be on the balls of your feet. And you've got to stay loose. Because once there's a connection made by the offensive player, that's a wrap. Especially if it's Delle Donne.
You got to play chess, not checkers against EDD. And a whistle and a foul. This one's going to be Tiffany Mitchell again. Getting called for the block. And it's tough because as you can play perfect defense and EDD can have perfect offense, and it can make you look bad.
Right. Well, she just reached in right there. I think her feet were good on that particular defensive play as she was trying to contain, but she reached in with that right hand and was whistled for the foul on that.
10 on the shot clock. Meeseman, the handoff to Tolliver. Cloud. Got it.
It's a big-time shot by Cloud in the absence of Kristi Tolliver's offensive production. Good to see Cloud step up in that role from the perimeter.
Wavunga almost got away with steps. Mitchell on the attack, too strong. Wavunga with the rebound. Wheeler. Nice pass to Wavunga. Can't control, though. Tolliver. Cloud. Back to Sanders. Delle Donne left wide open. Sanders the offensive board.
Boy, how hungry is Latoya Sanders on the offensive glass? Very. I mean, she is just a monster on the boards.
On cue, Latoya Sanders, and Koki Chapman wants a timeout. An 81-66 lead for the Mystics.
Well, we discussed the importance of defensive energy and focus right here. The swipe by Kristi Tolliver, and she pushes tempo up the floor. Latoya Sanders like a shark in the water on the offensive boards, and then knocking down a sweet elbow J.
Welcome back to Entertainment and Sports Arena. The Mystics on top of the Fever, 81-66. One player in double digits, Kristi Tolliver. It's not in the stat category you would think. She has 10 assists today, but 0 points. The last time Kristi Tolliver went scoreless in a game, June 28th of 2012 against the San Antonio Silver Stars. Very rare that a player of Kristi Tolliver's caliber doesn't score in a game, ladies.
Yeah, that's been surprising, obviously, to everyone, but you know, with those 10 assists that she has supplied for the team, that has been imperatively important for the Mystics. Only 2 turnovers for Tolliver as well.
And a travel called on Tiffany Mitchell. Natalie Achonwa into the game for the Fever. Cloud gets the handoff from Meeseman. 10 on the shot clock. Out to Delle Donne. 6 seconds. Collects. Nails it.
Poetry in motion right there by Elena Delle Donne. The hang time on that jumper is just filthy.
Natalie Achonwa extending the range.
She's been one of the most consistent players for the Fever out of Notre Dame. Tore her ACL her senior season for Muffet McGraw, but has been really playing hard and well this year. And Niele Ivey is going to the Memphis Grizzlies as the 9th female assistant coach in the NBA this upcoming season.
Offensive foul on Emma Meeseman. And I remember, you know, when you were saying about Achonwa and the ACL, I remember seeing the pictures of her during that NCAA run.
Yes, that was tough.
She was first one off the bench, even as uncomfortable as she was with that brace on.
Yeah, great teammate. And you see how communicative she is out here with the Fever. It carries over.
A whistle and a foul. They'll get Wavunga for the back.
Just take a look at it right here. Trying to get the pick and roll situation. Kelsey Mitchell trying to get to her strong hand. She's a lefty. And just came through the body of Miesemann for the foul.
Tolliver. Deladon, great pass to Miesemann. Here's Kelsey Mitchell. She gets that to fall, the southpaw.
She can score in bunches. We saw that in the second quarter when Indiana were on a 26-19 run over the Mystics.
Tolliver, quick touch. Sanders.
That's now a career-high 11 assists for Christy Tolliver on that last pitch.
Mitchell doesn't go. Muvunga with the rebound, reset. Kelsey Mitchell. She nails it.
We're talking about the second player in NCAA history in scoring. Over 3,400 points. I mean, you gotta be in her area somewhere.
If I'm not mistaken, another Kelsey is in front of her.
Kelsey Plum, another southpaw. Plays for the Las Vegas Aces.
Miesemann, too strong. Muvunga with the rebound up to Mitchell. Miesemann got a piece of that as she saves it.
Loud. Wisely using a lot of the clock here.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Cloud, too strong off window. Mitchell up the floor. And a whistle and a foul. Sanders takes that one.
Well, the Mystics right now with their 87 points sitting right at their season high. They average 87 to lead the league. They have the best road record in the WNBA. 6 of their next 8 games will be played here in D.C., and 8 of their last 12 of the regular season will be home games.
Off the mark, Achonwa tries to save it. It does not, as the Mystics' upcoming schedule. As we mentioned, this is the first of a 3-game homestand. They'll welcome in the Lynx and the Storm, then head out to Minnesota, welcome back the Fever again, and then head out to Chicago. Final minute of play here. Miesemann. Sanders. Off the mark. Miesemann tips it to herself, puts it up and in.
You've got to outwork if you want to get to the offensive glass. You got to do it by any means necessary as Sanders fouls Muvunga in transition. There's a shot up by Sanders right there, and just the tip. If you can't get it with 2 hands, get it with 1 and help yourself to the rim.
Atkins returns. Shatori Walker-Kimbrough returns. Kim Mestog and Maisha Hines-Allen getting into the game. And Maisha came in tonight in her brother's Jaguars jersey, who also are in preseason action tonight in Baltimore, taking on the Ravens.
Well, that's awesome. But I love to see Kim Mestog out here as well, the teammate on the Belgium national team with Emma Miesemann. Also missed that month of play back in June, came back beginning of July. Her dad, Philip Mestog, was here for a week to cheer on the Mystics last week.
Miesemann, as Maisha Hines-Allen saves it. Miesemann knocks it down. Mitchell doesn't go, fighting for the rebound. Hines-Allen has it taken away by Achonwa. Then she's fouled.
Well, hustle plays have told the story down the stretch for the Washington Mystics. They've been able to hold the lead after Indiana had that 2-point lead at halftime. They've been able to hold the lead in the second half. They've worked harder and smarter on the defensive end, as Eric Thibault told our Dan Nolan at halftime.
Get the win 91-78, Christy.
Well, it was a hard fight in that second half. Washington had to turn the tables on the defensive end to get it done.
A 91-78 victory. First one of 3 here at home.